Hello. Before we start talking about how to quit any addiction, I think we should first talk about why addictions exist in the first place. People who are addictive have a misconception about the world and about who they are, about their humanity. Addictions are expressions of distorted perceptions. When in life you have a distorted perception about who you are and how you should be, you will eventually have an addiction. If you would like to be more high, more positive, more happy, you will go after some addiction. Whether it's a drug, whether it's alcohol, whether it's smoking, if you have a misconception about the world, about your humanity, thinking you should always be calm and you should always be positive and you should love, never hate, you should always be high, never low, you should always have energy, never have less of energy, you should always be positive, never negative, you will have addictions. People nowadays are addictive to certain breathing exercises, they're addictive to drugs, they're addictive to alcohol, they're addictive to social media, they're addictive to anything that makes them feel good, that makes them feel better. And what happens is, the more you are addictive to feeling good, and addiction is basically the addiction to feeling good or to a certain way of being, and I think dysfunctional breathing and thinking habits are also addictions, and I talk about dysfunctional breathing habits in my other videos. All addictions are there because of a misconception. So if you let go of your need to be positive, if you let go of your need to be happy all the time, if you let go of your need to be high all the time, your addiction eventually evaporates, it just dissolves. In my courses, I teach you methods and strategies to expand your consciousness, to work with your consciousness, so that you can see that being happy and being sad, being positive and being negative are the same thing, because they both have equal benefits and drawbacks. And when you really look at your life, when you start really expanding your consciousness and looking your life with the methods I teach you in my workshops and courses, you understand that everything you experience, everything you ever experience, and everything there is in your life are just equal. An expanded consciousness, which doesn't have any addictions, sees everything equal. So understanding why addictions exist is the first step in how to quit any addiction. Changing your perceptions about life, working on your misconceptions about humanity, understanding that chasing positivity and being high and being happy all the time will not work. The more you chase happiness and being high and being calm or energetic or fine or positive, the more addictions you will have. Understanding that if you quit your need to be happy, you will be quitting your addictions is very important. If you quit your need to be happy and high and sweet and nice and positive all the time, if you start saying yes to all parts of humanity, if you start saying yes to sadness, low frequencies, everything you named as negative in your mind, if you write down everything you name as negative in your mind, in your humanity, especially negative emotions you don't want to experience, those are the reasons of your addictions. Not the negative emotions, but that you're trying to run away from them. So write down all negative emotions you don't want to ever experience and try to connect with those emotions. Try to say yes to those emotions. Once you start saying yes to sadness as well as happiness, once you start saying yes to all negative emotions, you name those negative and they were not negative in the first place. Once you start saying yes to negative emotions, your addictions will dissolve. In my courses, in the Miracle Course, which is my signature program, the last day of the Miracle Course, we have an emotional expression exercise. I ask all of our participants, and that's an eye-to-eye practice, it's kind of a dietic exercise. I ask all participants to look at their friend's face, eye to eye, and express emotions they have been running away from, like fear, like anger, like rage, like hatred, and they express those emotions. And the moment they start expressing those emotions, the moment they let themselves be inside those emotions, their addictions start dissolving. So the key to dissolving any addiction is not running away from your humanity. working with your consciousness, working with your misconceptions, understanding that you have a misconception about life. You have a misconception about your humanity. And that misconception is you think being happy is better than being sad. You think being high is better than being low, and you like being high. If you like being high and if you don't like being low, you will have an addiction. If you like being positive, all those positive feelings, if you like those, and if you don't like negative feelings, which you name negative, you will always have addictions. People who don't have any addictions, they are okay with themselves. So basically, once you're okay with yourself, okay with all your emotions, okay with hatred and love and rage and sadness and all of the emotions, you will be free of addictions. That's what I teach. That's what I've been experiencing. I have had people coming to my seminars with all kinds of addictions, and the moment they start working with their consciousness, when they expand their consciousness, when they change their misconceptions, and when they start accepting their humanity as they are, when they stop chasing after emotions like happiness and positivity and positive emotions, when they're willing to express and willing to experience all emotions they called negative before, when they experience those emotions and they're okay with their humanity, their addictions dissolve by themselves. See you in my next video.